From the News Channel 8 studios, let's talk live with your hosts, Natasha Barrett and Melanie Hastings.
Okay.
That probably is named Cricket.
It's Friday, isn't it? Well,
right.
do you ever feel like you have trouble maybe getting your point across? Maybe you give some subtle hints about what you're thinking, but, this could be relationship-oriented or it could be when it relates to a job.
Yeah, but sometimes this hoping is not really getting the message across. People don't always do what we hope they'll do. Ain't that the truth? All right, well, with some help here, help us out. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you all. And remember, hope is not a strategy.
Okay.
People say all the time, I hope they understand what I want, and they kind of say it or they beat around the bush, and hope is not a strategy. We've got to spell out what we want.
So how do you say it without sounding too aggressive?
I have no idea. No, I say.
Well, Stephen, if you don't know, we're lost.
Next guest. One of the things is we've got to believe it in our mind. I think a lot of times people don't get what they want, but the truth is they don't internally believe they deserve it. They don't think they deserve a promotion, a raise, or even at home, I don't deserve help. But they complain about it and bellyache about it, but internally they don't really believe it. And if we don't believe what we really want in our life, that we deserve it, how can we expect other people to give it to us?
Well, then why are you asking if you don't think you need it or deserve it?
Well, why do people ask it?
Yeah.
I think sometimes people ask it and they really don't believe that somebody will help them out, so they kind of halfway ask it, or they actually think it, but they think they're never going to give it to me. Or what really happens a lot is, you know what, if I have to spell it out, forget it.
Yeah.
Like, take appreciation in life.
Oh, right.
If I have to say to somebody to do something nice, then it loses the point. But here's the bigger point. How's it going the way you're living your life right now?
Right.
If we don't ask for what we want and spell it out and stand for what we want, we're never going to get what we want. Remember,
sometimes you feel like you're in somebody's face then, and you're kind of coming off as abrasive or, too wanting. And that can be off-putting, right?
Well, and you've got to make so we're talking about making a request, not a demand. You ever have somebody say, they make a request of us, but it's clearly a demand, and you can tell by their tone that although they may ask it, there is only one right option. Remember, tone has 5 times the impact of the words we say. Tone is 5 times the impact. So the way we say something is actually even more important than the words we choose to say it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I agree with that.
I think so.
What are you thinking back in your life? Ooh, we made some demands. No, they were requests.
Yeah, I can come up with a few examples. How does it differ with male and female? Because a lot of times females say to their husband, well, you should know what I want. You should know how I feel.
Yeah, and that usually doesn't work out too well.
No, it doesn't.
Until one day there's a divorce. Oh my gosh, what happened? There are probably some differences between men and women, but I think sometimes people use that as a complaint. The point is that men sometimes are silent and they really want women to do certain things and other people to do certain things, and I think women obviously do that, and especially when it comes to appreciation. But the whole point is, if we don't ask, we're not going to get it. But here's the bigger issue. Sometimes somebody will do what we want them to do, and then we punish them. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Here's an easy example. You ask somebody to take out the garbage. Finally, they take out the garbage. And the reaction is, well, I'm glad you finally took out the garbage. What are they sitting there going, wait, I can't wait to do that again. Usually they're like, forget it, I don't even want to do it again. So sometimes the way we react reinforces the old behavior rather than the new behavior we want.
So when they take out the garbage, you just say thank you, right?
Yeah, we don't have to throw them a party and say, oh my gosh, you're the best person in the world. No, we just have to at least be nice about it and encourage that kind of behavior.
So if you take out the garbage, are you expecting to have the thank you, or is it just something that you should be doing anyway? I mean, isn't it our house, and shouldn't we both be pitching in? And do we always have to recognize every little thing that everyone does?
Melanie, all I can say is, how's that working for you? Because here's the reality. The reality is, we don't have to throw them, again, a party, but we could say thank you. I mean, how often have you said, well, I would have liked to thank you? And so, again, it's just, hey, thanks for doing that. I really appreciate that you actually move forward on some stuff that I really want.
My problem is that then it becomes my trash.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Instead of our trash. If I'm the one saying thank you to the person taking out the trash.
See. Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
The other person is not taking ownership for this trash
there's a
that we created together.
Apparently we touched a chord there.
Just following up on your example.
You guys need some alone time to work this out.
I mean, sure, there are things that are happening in life, but you know, the thing is, people get so positional and they blame and they accuse. And the reality is, we just need to move forward in life and just, you know, give up being so righteous. You know, one of the things that really kills relationship is self-righteousness. Self-righteousness is toxic really to relationships, and that's really where I always believe I'm right and I'm being righteous about it, rather than realize, you know what, who cares? Our garbage, your garbage, or whatever. The point is, did it the goal get accomplished? And maybe sending them the right message by the way we react.
Okay. What about dealing with your kids? Does it change it at all because it's a child? When talking to them and getting what you want out of them?
Well, let's face it, a big behavior or a big way to look at life and respond to people is, remember, we train and condition people on how we want to be treated. We actually train and condition them. So if we don't say something, silence rewards current behavior, right? If you're sitting there silent and you're saying, I hope my kids will do that, again, hope's not a strategy. So the reality is, so what can we do about it? Well, we can actually make requests and be really clear. And on the other hand, if we get defensive about when people don't do what we want, we will shut down communication. So where am I going with this? We need to remember that we train and condition people on how we want to be treated, and also our kids, and that deals with something bigger. And that is, are we the role model to the kids? And are we the role models to the people in our life? For example, if they see us say we're going to do things and then we don't do it, then no wonder they are saying they're going to do things and not do it. We need to model the behavior that we seek in others.
So don't expect Billy Jr. to take out the trash if Billy Sr.'s not taking out the trash. Because then Melanie won't be happy.
What do they hear in that household? We, you, I, me, you know, putting a little sign, oh, here's a little hint. Yeah, that usually doesn't invite collaboration and cooperation.
Can I quickly ask you, how does this work in a work setting? Say we want a raise or we want a promotion. How do we get what we deserve?
The first thing is we've got to ask for it. We've got to ask for it. I'm sure somewhere in your life you've had somebody who actually was outspoken and they got what they wanted, and you thought, it bothers you, and you might think, but the truth is, did you ask for what you want? If you think you deserve a raise, ask for a raise. What's the worst that somebody could say? Is no. And what is no? What do
You're fired.
Well, that would be a bad day.
I hope not.
Really, have you ever heard of anybody being fired because they asked for a raise?
No.
Sometimes people have their thought process, and it's really a way to diminish our own confidence because they think, oh, well, I would get fired. But the truth is, has it really ever happened? And if it happens, was that an exception or the rule of life? And so the reason why I say that is because a lot of times we stop ourselves and we like to propose that other people are stopping us, but we don't even ask for what we want. So I'm encouraging people at home and at work, if you believe you deserve a raise or a promotion or something you want, first ask for it. And here's the other thing. You got to be persistent. You can't say, well, I asked for it and they didn't give it to me. Well, I mean, we got to be persistent, because remember, talking about kids, children teach us, and I think you're the greatest gift in life, or one of the greatest gifts, and that is this. You know, what does no mean to a child? What does no mean to a child?
They're just going to ask again.
Exactly. So we should take that as an example of how we live our life.
Stephen Gaffney, communications expert, giving us a lot to think about as we try to ask for what we deserve.
I'm sure our bosses love you right now, just so you know.
This is the last time I'm going to be on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. Have a great weekend.
All right, still ahead on LTL, the wife of Rupert Sanders stepped out for the first time since the news of her husband's affair with Kristen Stewart broke, and she was missing a key piece of jewelry. I wonder what that is.
And Dr. Katie Nelson's here. She's going to tell us what to do to protect your family and your pets from the West Nile virus. And she'll also tell you how you can adopt cricket.
Plus, author Mark Waldman is here talking about his new book, Mighty Mac.
And Gina Tepper, she'll chat with us about some great craft ideas for the end of the summer months.
And Kelly Ripa is getting a new co-host. Rumors are swirling about who it is. We'll break down the background of the new guy.
And if you want more, check out our Facebook page. Also, check out our blog, news8.net. Click on Let's Talk Live. We'll be right back.